The world has gone quiet. Shadows stretch across the walls. Let your thoughts grow soft. A story waits in the stillness. If it brings you peace, like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a night. Now let the story find you. You step into the bamboo grove, where the air feels cool and heavy, like a secret held too long. The stalks sway gently, their slender forms whispering against each other in the evening breeze. Your sandals crunch softly on the path, the only sound besides the faint hum of cicadas. Moonlight filters through the canopy, casting silver threads across the ground, and you feel a pull, as if the grove itself is calling you deeper. You're not sure why you're here. Perhaps it was the old tale your grandmother told you about a fox spirit who grants wishes to those who find her shrine. Or maybe it's just a need to escape, to lose yourself in a place where the world can't follow. The path twists, and you notice the bamboo growing denser, the moonlight dimmer. Your heart beats a little faster, but it's not fear, not yet. It's something else, a curiosity that tugs at your edges. You brush your fingers against a bamboo stalk, its surface smooth and cold, and you wonder how long it stood here watching travelers like you. The grove feels alive, as if it's studying you, weighing your intentions. You shake off the thought and keep walking, your breath visible in the cool air. Ahead, a faint glow catches your eye, soft and golden, like a lantern left burning. You pause, squinting through the stalks. It's not a lantern, you realize, but something stranger. A small stone shrine sits in a clearing, its edges worn by time, moss clinging to its base. At its center, a single flame flickers, though there's no candle, no source you can see. You step closer, drawn to it, your shadow stretching long behind you. The air feels warmer here, almost welcoming, and you kneel before the shrine, your hands resting lightly on your thighs. You notice a faint carving on the stone, a fox with 9 tails, its eyes sharp and knowing. Your grandmother's voice echoes in your mind. The fox spirit is clever, child. She grants wishes, but only to those who offer something true. You wonder what that means, what you could possibly offer. Your life feels ordinary, your dreams small. A better job, a quieter heart, a chance to start over. You close your eyes, letting the thought form, not quite a wish, but a question. What do I even want? The flame flares suddenly, and you open your eyes, startled. A soft laugh like wind chimes fills the air. You turn, but no one's there. The grove is still, the cicadas silent now. Your skin prickles, and you stand, brushing dirt from your knees. Who's there? You call, your voice swallowed by the bamboo. No answer comes, but you feel watched, not with malice, but with curiosity, like a cat studying a bird. You take a step back, your eyes scanning the shadows. A flicker of movement catches your attention, a flash of white among the green. You squint, heart thudding, and see her. A woman stands at the edge of the clearing, her kimono pale as moonlight, her hair long and dark, spilling over her shoulders. Her eyes glint, sharp and amber, like the fox in the carving. She's beautiful, but there's something wild about her, something that makes the air feel electric. You found my shrine, she says, her voice soft but clear, carrying a hint of amusement. Most don't. You open your mouth to speak, but the words catch in your throat. She steps closer, her movements fluid, almost gliding, and you notice the faint outline of tails behind her, shimmering like mist. Not one, not 9, but too many to count, fading into the darkness. I didn't mean to disturb you. You manage your voice quieter than you intended. She tilts her head, studying you, and you feel exposed, as if she can see every thought you've ever had. You're not disturbing me, she says, smiling faintly. You're interesting. Tell me, why are you here? Her question feels like a test, and you hesitate. Do you tell her about the wish you haven't fully formed? About the restlessness that drove you into the grove? You feel the weight of her gaze, and something tells you to be honest. I don't know, you admit, your voice barely above a whisper. I just felt like I needed to come. Her smile widens, and you catch a glimpse of sharp teeth. Honesty, she says almost to herself. That's a good start. She steps closer, and you catch the scent of something sweet, like plum blossoms. My name is Akari, she says, her voice curling around you like smoke. And you, wanderer, have stepped into my world. Would you like to stay a little longer? You feel a choice hanging in the air, heavy and unspoken. The grove seems to hold its breath, waiting for your answer. You could turn back now, find the path that led you here, return to the world you know. Or you could stay, see what this fox spirit wants, what she might offer. Your heart races, not with fear, but with something warmer, something alive. Akari's eyes gleam, and you sense she already knows what you'll choose. You stand before Akari, her amber eyes catching the faint glow of the shrine's flame. The bamboo grove seems to lean in, its stalks framing her like a living curtain. You feel the weight of her question. Would you like to stay a little longer? It's not just an invitation, it's a doorway, and your answer will shape what comes next. Your breath catches, but you nod, unable to look away from her. I'll stay, you say, your voice steadier than you feel. Her smile sharpens, a flicker of delight passing over her face, and you wonder if you've just stepped into a game you don't fully understand. Akari gestures toward the shrine, and you notice a stone bench you hadn't seen before, half hidden in the shadows. Sit, she says, her tone light but carrying an edge of command. You obey, settling onto the cold stone, your hands clasped in your lap. She doesn't sit, but paces slowly before you, her kimono trailing like liquid moonlight. The air feels charged, as if a storm is gathering, though the sky above the grove is clear. You're searching for something, she says, not asking but stating, but you don't know what it is. That's why you came to my grove. You shift uncomfortably, her words cutting closer than you'd like. You want to protest, to say you're just here by chance, but the truth sits heavy in your chest. You've been restless for months, maybe years, chasing something you can't name. A purpose, a spark, a reason to feel alive. You look down at your hands, avoiding her gaze. Maybe, you murmur. I don't know where to start. Akari stops pacing and kneels before you, her movements graceful and deliberate. You're startled by how close she is, her face only a breath away. Her eyes seem to glow, and you catch a faint shimmer behind her, the ghostly outline of tails curling in the air. Let me help you, she says, her voice soft as a lullaby. I can show you what you're missing, but you must give me something in return. Her words are honeyed, but there's a sharpness beneath them, like a blade wrapped in silk. What do you want? You ask, your throat dry. You've heard the stories, tales of fox spirits who trick mortals, who ask for impossible prices. Your grandmother's warning echoes again, only to those who offer something true. You wonder what true means to a creature like a Carrie. Your heart? Your secrets? Something you don't even know you have? She laughs, the sound light and musical, and stands, brushing a strand of hair from her face. Nothing so grand, she says, as if reading your thoughts. A promise. That's all I ask for now. A promise to listen, to follow where I lead you. She tilts her head, her expression playful but unreadable. Do you trust me enough for that? You hesitate. Trust is a heavy word, especially for someone or something you've just met. The grove feels quieter now, the cicadas still, the moonlight sharper. You search her face for a hint of deceit, but all you see is curiosity, maybe even hope. Against your better judgment, you feel yourself leaning toward her, drawn by the mystery she carries. All right, you say finally. I promise. Her eyes light up, and for a moment, you think you see a flicker of something softer, almost human. Good, she says, stepping back. She raises a hand, and the air around you shifts, like a curtain being drawn aside. The clearing changes, the shrine fading into the background as the bamboo parts to reveal a new path. It's narrower, lined with glowing fireflies that hover like tiny lanterns. Follow me, Akari says, her voice a gentle pull. You stand, your legs unsteady, and follow her down the path. The fireflies drift around you, their light warm against the cool night. You notice her kimono shimmering, the fabric catching colors that shouldn't exist, blues and golds that shift like water. She doesn't look back, but you feel her awareness of you, as if she's tethered to your every step. The path winds deeper into the grove, and you wonder where it leads, what she wants to show you. After a few minutes, you reach a small pond, its surface still as glass, reflecting the moon above. Akari stops at its edge and turns to you, her expression unreadable. Look into the water, she says. You step forward, peering into the pond. At first you see only your reflection, your face framed by the moonlight. But then the water ripples, though no breeze touches it, and images begin to form. You see flashes of your life, moments you'd forgotten, moments that hurt, moments that made you feel alive. A child laughing in a sunlit field. A late-night conversation that left you hollow. A dream you let slip away. You pull back, your heart racing. What is this? You ask, your voice sharper than you intended. Akari doesn't answer right away. She kneels by the pond, trailing her fingers across the water, and the images fade. It's you, she says simply. The pieces you've left behind. The ones you're searching for. She looks up at you, her eyes piercing. Do you want to see more? You're not sure. The images stirred something in you, a mix of longing and unease. You feel exposed, as if the pond has seen too much. But there's a part of you that wants to know, to understand what Akari sees when she looks at you. You nod, unable to speak, and she smiles again, a smile that feels both kind and dangerous. Then we'll continue, she says, standing. But remember your promise. You follow where I lead. The fireflies pulse brighter, and the path ahead seems to shift, leading deeper into the grove. You take a breath, steadying yourself, and follow her, the pond's reflections lingering in your mind. You follow Akari deeper into the bamboo grove, the fireflies casting a soft glow around you, their light dancing on the path like scattered stars. The air feels thicker now, heavy with the scent of earth and something sweeter, like blooming jasmine. Your footsteps are muffled, as if the grove is cushioning your presence, drawing you into its heart. Akari moves ahead, her kimono shimmering faintly, the ghostly tails behind her swaying like reeds in a stream. She doesn't speak, but you feel her pulling you forward, not with words, but with something unspoken, a thread of curiosity that binds you to her. The path narrows, the bamboo closing in, brushing against your shoulders. You feel a prickle of unease, but it's tempered by the strange calm of the grove. You wonder if you should ask where you're going, what she wants to show you, but the words stay locked in your throat. Instead, you watch her, the way her hair sways with each step, the way her presence seems to hum with energy. You're not sure if she's leading you to answers or deeper into a mystery, but you've made your promise, and turning back feels impossible now. The path opens into another clearing, smaller than the last, ringed by bamboo so dense it feels like a wall. At its center stands a cherry blossom tree, its branches heavy with pale pink petals, though you're certain it's not the season for blooms. The petals fall slowly, drifting to the ground in a silent cascade, and you feel a pang in your chest, like a memory you can't quite grasp. Akari stops beneath the tree, turning to face you, her amber eyes catching the moonlight. "Do you feel it?" she asks, her voice soft but piercing. "The weight of this place?" You nod, though you're not sure what she means. The air feels charged, like the moment before a storm breaks, and your skin tingles with something you can't name. You step closer to the tree, your fingers brushing a low-hanging branch. A petal falls, landing in your palm, and for a moment you see a flash of something, a memory that isn't yours. A young woman in a kimono, laughing under this same tree, her eyes bright with love. Then it's gone, and you're left staring at the petal, your heart pounding. "What was that?" you ask, your voice barely above a whisper. Akari steps beside you, her gaze fixed on the tree. "This grove holds stories," she says, "moments that linger, like petals caught in the wind. You saw one just now, didn't you?" She doesn't wait for your answer, her fingers brushing the air as if tracing something only she can see. "They're not yours, but they could be. If you want to understand, you have to let them in." You frown, the petal still in your hand. "Whose story was that?" you ask, unsure if you want the answer. The image of the woman felt so real, her laughter so vivid, it's as if she's still here, just out of sight. Akari's smile is faint, almost sad. "Someone who made a promise like you," she says. "Someone who followed me." Her words send a chill through you, and you wonder what happened to that woman, what her promise cost her. You open your mouth to ask, but Akari raises a hand, silencing you. "Not yet," she says, her tone gentle but firm. "You're not ready for her story, but you will be." She steps closer, her eyes searching yours, and you feel that same pull, like she's peeling back layers of you. "Tell me," she says, her voice curling around you. "What do you carry that you wish you could leave behind?" The question catches you off guard, and you feel a knot in your chest. You think of the sleepless nights, the doubts that cling to you like shadows, the choices you regret but can't undo. You don't want to answer, but her gaze holds you, and the words spill out before you can stop them. "I carry too much," you say, your voice raw. "Mistakes. Things I didn't say when I had the chance. Things I did say and shouldn't have." You look away, the petal crumpling in your hand. I don't know how to let them go. Akari's expression softens, and for a moment she seems almost human, her eyes warm with something like understanding. The grove can hold them for you, she says, but you have to choose to let them fall like these petals. She gestures to the tree, and another petal drifts down, catching moonlight as it spins. You watch it, mesmerized, and feel a strange urge to speak, to unburden yourself. You take a breath, ready to say more, but she steps back, breaking the spell. Come, she says, turning toward a new path that appears as if by magic, lined with more fireflies. There's more to see. You hesitate, the weight of your confession still lingering, but you follow her, the petal slipping from your hand. The path winds upward, the ground sloping gently, and you notice the air growing cooler, the scent of jasmine fading. The grove feels different here, older, as if time itself moves slower. Ahead you see a faint light, not the warm glow of fireflies, but something colder, like starlight. Akari pauses, her silhouette sharp against the light. This is where you begin to choose, she says, her voice low. What you keep, what you leave behind. Be careful, wanderer. The grove listens. You feel a shiver, not from the cold, but from the weight of her words. The light ahead pulses faintly, and you sense it's not just a light, but a threshold, a place where the grove might ask something of you. You glance at Akari, her face unreadable, and wonder what she's leading you toward. The memory of the woman under the cherry blossom tree lingers, her laughter echoing in your mind. You made a promise to follow, but now you feel the grove watching, waiting for your next step. Your heart beats faster, and you take a breath, ready to move forward, unsure if you're chasing answers or running from yourself. You step toward the cold, star-like light, your footsteps soft on the mossy ground. The bamboo grove feels different here, its air sharp and crisp, as if you've crossed into a deeper layer of the forest's heart. Akari walks beside you now, her presence a quiet hum, her kimono brushing the path with a faint rustle. The fireflies have vanished, replaced by that strange pale glow ahead, pulsing like a heartbeat. You feel it drawing you in, and your chest tightens with a mix of anticipation and unease. The grove is watching, you're sure of it, and Akari's words echo in your mind. The grove listens. You glance at her, hoping for some hint of what lies ahead, but her face is serene, her amber eyes fixed on the path. What is this place? You ask, your voice sounding small in the vast stillness. She doesn't answer right away, her gaze drifting to the light. A place where choices are made, she says finally, her tone soft but heavy with meaning. Where you decide what to carry and what to leave. You swallow, the weight of her words settling over you like a cloak. You're not sure you're ready to choose anything, but the path pulls you forward, and you keep walking. The light grows brighter, and you see its source, a stone archway, ancient and weathered, standing alone in the clearing. Its surface is carved with foxes, their tails curling in intricate patterns, their eyes seeming to follow you. The light spills from the archway's center, not blinding but steady, like a window to another world. You stop a few paces away, your heart thudding. What's on the other side? You ask, unable to hide the tremor in your voice. Akari tilts her head, a faint smile playing on her lips. What you need to see, she says, but only if you step through. You stare at the archway, its light casting shadows that dance across the bamboo. You feel a pull, not just from the light, but from something deeper, something inside you. It's as if the grove knows your secrets, your regrets, and is offering you a chance to face them. You think of the petal from the cherry blossom tree, the fleeting memory of the laughing woman, and wonder if this is what Akari meant by letting things fall. Your hands clench at your sides, and you take a hesitant step forward. Akari's hand grazes your arm, light as a breeze, stopping you. "Be sure," she says, her voice low and serious. "Once you pass through, you can't unsee what the grove shows you." Her eyes hold yours, and for the first time you see a flicker of concern in them, a crack in her playful facade. You nod, though you're not sure if you're reassuring her or yourself. "I'm ready," you say, hoping it's true. You step through the archway, and the world shifts. The air grows warm, the light softening to a golden haze. You're no longer in the grove, or at least not the same grove. The bamboo is gone, replaced by a meadow dotted with wildflowers, their petals glowing faintly under a twilight sky. You turn, expecting to see the archway behind you, but it's gone. Akari stands a few paces away, watching you with that same unreadable expression. "Where are we?" you ask, your voice echoing oddly in the open space. "This is a memory," she says, stepping closer. "Not yours, but one the grove keeps. Look." She gestures to the meadow, and you follow her gaze. In the distance you see two figures, their forms hazy at first, then sharpening. A young man and a woman sitting together on a blanket, their laughter carrying on the breeze. The woman is the one from the cherry blossom tree, her kimono vibrant, her smile bright. The man beside her looks at her with such tenderness that it makes your chest ache. You step closer, drawn to them, and the scene feels so real you could almost touch it. The woman tosses her head back, laughing at something the man said, and he reaches for her hand, his fingers brushing hers. You feel like an intruder, watching something private, but you can't look away. "Who are they?" you ask, your voice barely a whisper. Akari's expression softens, her eyes distant. "They were here once," she says. "They made promises like you. But promises are fragile things." The scene shifts, the laughter fading. The man's face grows serious, his hand tightening around hers. You catch fragments of their words, "Forever," and "Trust," and "Wait for me." The woman's smile falters, and you see a flicker of doubt in her eyes. The meadow darkens, the flowers dimming, and you feel a pang of sorrow, as if their emotions are seeping into you. You turn to Akari, questions burning in your throat, but she raises a hand. "Watch," she says. "Feel." The man stands, his shoulders tense, and walks away, leaving the woman alone. She watches him go, her hands clutching the blanket, her face a mix of hope and fear. You want to reach out, to tell her something, anything, but the meadow fades, and you're back in the grove, the archway looming behind you. Your heart is racing, and you feel a weight you can't explain, as if you've carried their story back with you. Akari steps closer, her voice gentle. "What did you feel?" she asks. You struggle to find words, the emotion still raw. "Sadness," you say finally, "and longing, like they lost something." She nods, her eyes searching yours. "The grove shows you what you need," she says, "not always what you want. Do you still wish to follow?" You take a breath, the memory of the meadow lingering like a dream. The weight of their story clings to you, but so does the pull of Akari's voice, the promise of answers. You nod, and she smiles, leading you back to the path, the bamboo closing around you once more. You walk behind Akari, the bamboo grove folding around you like a living tunnel. It stalks whispering secrets you can't quite hear. The memory of the meadow clings to you, the laughter and sorrow of the couple etched into your mind. Your steps feel heavier now, as if you're carrying their story alongside your own. The air is cool, the starlight filtering through the canopy in thin silver strands. Akari moves with that same fluid grace, her kimono catching the light, her tails a faint shimmer behind her. She hasn't spoken since the archway, and you wonder if she's giving you space to process or testing you again. The path slopes downward, leading you to a small bridge arched over a narrow stream. The water glints like polished obsidian, reflecting the moon in perfect clarity. You pause at the bridge's edge, your reflection staring back, but it feels like more than just your face. There's a flicker in the water, a shadow that doesn't match your movements. You lean closer, squinting, and for a moment you see the woman from the meadow, her eyes wide and searching. You pull back, your heart skipping. "What is this?" you ask, turning to Akari. She stands at the center of the bridge, her hands clasped lightly before her. "The stream shows echoes," she says, her voice soft as the waters flow. "Pieces of those who've passed through the grove." You see her because her story touched you. She steps closer, her gaze fixed on the stream. Or maybe because you're starting to understand what it means to carry a promise. You frown, the weight of her words settling over you. The woman's face in the water felt so real, so close, as if she's trying to tell you something. You take a tentative step onto the bridge, the wood creaking softly under your weight. "Who was she?" you ask, your voice quieter now. "The woman in the meadow. What happened to her?" Akari's smile was faint, tinged with something you can't read. Sadness or regret, perhaps. "Her name was Hannah," she says. "She came to my grove long ago, seeking something she thought she needed. She made a promise like you, but promises are heavier than they seem." You want to ask more, but Akari gestures to the stream. "Look again," she says. "Not at her, but at yourself. What do you see?" You hesitate, the water's surface still rippling faintly. You lean over the edge, bracing yourself, and this time it's your face you see, but different. Older, maybe, or just tired, your eyes carrying a weight you recognize but don't want to name. The reflection shifts, showing you moments, fleeting images of your own life. A door you didn't open, a letter you never sent, a moment you walked away from. Your throat tightens and you step back, the bridge feeling unsteady beneath you. "Why are you showing me this?" you ask, your voice sharper than you intend. Akari tilts her head, her amber eyes gleaming. "Because you asked to see," she says simply. "You promised to follow, to listen." The grove is answering. You shake your head, the images in the stream stirring emotions you've buried deep. Regret, guilt, the ache of things left undone. You don't want to face them, not here, not now. Akari steps closer, her presence calming but insistent. "You can't run from what you carry," she says, her voice like a lullaby. "But you can choose what to do with it. Cross the bridge and the grove will show you more. Or stay here and let the stream hold your reflection." Her words feel like a challenge, and you glance at the water again, your distorted face staring back. You don't want to stay trapped with those images, those echoes of your past. You take a breath and step forward, crossing the bridge. The wood groans softly, and the air shifts, growing warmer, softer, like a summer night. On the other side, the path opens into a small glade, where fireflies have returned, their golden light pulsing gently. At the center stands a wooden torii gate, its red paint faded but vibrant in the moonlight. You feel a pull toward it, like a thread tugging at your heart, but Akari stops you with a gentle touch on your shoulder. "Not yet," she says. "There's something you need to understand first." She leads you to a stone lantern near the gate, its flame flickering weakly, as if struggling to stay alight. "Hannah stood here once," Akari says, her voice low. "She saw what you see now, felt what you feel. She wanted to let go, but she held on too tightly." You frown, trying to piece together what she means. "What did she hold on to?" you ask. Akari's eyes meet yours, and you see a flicker of something ancient, something that knows too much. "Her heart," she says. "Her hope. Sometimes letting go is the only way to move forward." You look at the lantern, its flame trembling, and feel a pang of recognition. You've held on to things too, regrets, dreams, promises you made to yourself but never kept. The torii gate looms ahead, its shadow stretching across the glade, and you sense it's another threshold, another choice. Akari watches you, her expression unreadable. "The gate will show you more," she says, "but it will ask for something in return. Are you ready to give it?" Your heart races, the weight of the stream's reflections still heavy in your chest. You don't know what the gate will ask or what you have left to give, but the pull is undeniable. You nod, and Akari's smile returns, soft and knowing. "Then follow," she says, leading you toward the gate, the fireflies swirling around you like a gentle tide. You stand before the faded red torii gate, its weathered beams glowing faintly in the moonlight. The fireflies swirl around you, their golden light weaving patterns in the air, as if urging you forward. The grove feels alive, its presence pressing against you, whispering of choices and promises. Akari stands at your side, her amber eyes fixed on the gate, her expression a mix of anticipation and something deeper, almost sorrowful. You feel the weight of her earlier words. The gate will ask for something in return. Your heart beats faster, but you can't turn back now, not with the echoes of Hannah's story and your own reflections lingering in your mind. You take a step toward the gate, the air growing warmer, heavier, as if it's holding its breath. The fireflies part, creating a path of light that leads through the gate's arch. You glance at Akari, seeking reassurance, but her face is unreadable, her tail shimmering faintly behind her. "What will it ask for?" you ask, your voice barely above a whisper. She tilts her head, her smile soft but enigmatic. "Something you've held too long," she says. "Something that weighs you down. Only you can know what it is." You swallow, your thoughts racing. The stream's reflections flash in your mind, the moments of regret, the words you never said, the chances you let slip away. You wonder if the gate will demand one of those or something more, something you're not ready to give. You take another step, the ground soft beneath your sandals, and feel a pull, like a tide drawing you in. The gate looms larger now, its shadow stretching across the glade, and you sense it's more than just a structure. It's a boundary between what you are and what you could be. you pass through the gate, and the world shifts again. The grove vanishes, replaced by a quiet village street, bathed in the soft glow of twilight. Lanterns hang from wooden eaves, their light warm and inviting. You hear the distant sound of a flute, its melody wistful, curling through the air like smoke. You're standing in the middle of the street, and it feels so real, the scent of cedar and rice lingering, the cobblestones cool under your feet. You turn to Akari, but she's not there. For the first time since you met her, you're alone. You take a hesitant step, your heart pounding. The street is empty, but you feel watched, not by eyes but by the village itself, its houses leaning in, as if to listen. Ahead, you see a small courtyard where a single lantern burns beside a well. A figure sits there, her back to you, her kimono a familiar shade of blue. It's Hannah, you realize, her long hair spilling over her shoulders. She's writing something, her brush moving swiftly across a scroll, her movements precise but heavy with emotion. You approach slowly, not wanting to startle her. She doesn't turn, but you sense she knows you're there. "You're here," she says, her voice soft, tinged with resignation. "I knew someone would come." You pause, unsure what to say. "I saw you." You manage your words clumsy. "In the meadow?" "With him." Her hand stills, the brush hovering over the scroll. She turns slightly, her face half lit by the lantern, her eyes bright with unshed tears. "You saw my happiest moment," she says, "and my hardest." You step closer, drawn to her sorrow. "What happened?" you ask, your voice gentle. She looks down at the scroll, her fingers tightening around the brush. "I made a promise," she says, "to wait for him, to hold on to our love, no matter what. But he never came back." Her voice breaks, and you feel a pang in your chest, as if her pain is yours. You want to comfort her, but you don't know how. Instead, you kneel beside her, the lantern's light warm against your skin. "What did you promise Akari?" You ask, the question slipping out before you can stop it. Hannah's eyes meet yours, and you see a flicker of recognition, as if she sees something of herself in you. "I promised to give her my heart," she says. "Not my love, but my pain. The weight of it. She said it would free me, but I couldn't let go." She gestures to the scroll, and you see it's filled with words. A letter that was never sent. "I wrote to him every day, hoping he'd return. But hope became my cage." You look at the scroll, the ink still wet, and feel a knot in your throat. You think of your own burdens, the regrets you've carried, the moments you've held on to too tightly. How do you let go? You ask, your voice raw. Hannah smiles, a sad, knowing smile. "You choose," she says. "You decide what's worth keeping." She stands, the scroll falling to the ground, and for a moment you think she's going to walk away. But she turns to you, her eyes steady. "The gate brought you here for a reason. What will you give it?" Before you can answer, the village fades, the lantern's light dimming. You're back in the grove, standing before the Tory gate, Akari at your side. Her expression is gentle, but her eyes are sharp, searching. "You saw her," she says, not a question but a statement. "You felt her." You nod, your throat tight. "She's still holding on," you say, and Akari's smile is tinged with sadness. "Some do," she says, "but you don't have to." She gestures to the path ahead, where the fireflies have gathered, their light forming a new trail. "The grove isn't done with you yet," she says. Will you keep following? You feel the weight of Hana's story, the scroll's unsent words, and your own unspoken burdens. You nod, and Akari's smile widens, leading you deeper into the grove, the gate's shadow lingering behind you. You follow Akari down the new path, the firefly's golden light guiding your steps through the bamboo grove. The air feels softer now, like a sigh, but there's a tension beneath it, a quiet hum that makes your skin prickle. Hana's story clings to you, her unsent letter and tearful eyes heavy in your chest. You wonder if you're walking toward answers or deeper into a maze, but the pull of Akari's presence keeps you moving forward. Her kimono shimmers faintly, the ghostly tales behind her, swaying like whispers of smoke, and you sense she's leading you somewhere significant, somewhere that will test you again. The path curves and the bamboo thins, revealing a small pavilion nestled in a clearing. Its wooden roof is weathered, draped with vines that glow faintly under the moonlight. Inside, a low table holds a single clay cup, its surface cracked but polished, as if it's been touched by countless hands. You pause at the edge of the pavilion, your heart beating faster. The air here feels heavy, charged with something ancient, and you sense the grove is watching, waiting for your next move. Akari steps inside, her movements graceful, and gestures for you to follow. "Come," she says, her voice soft but insistent. "Sit with me." You hesitate, the memory of Hana's sorrow making you cautious, but you step into the pavilion and kneel across from her at the table. The clay cup sits between you, its cracks catching the light, and you feel a strange urge to touch it, to understand its story. Akari's amber eyes meet yours, and you see a flicker of something new, curiosity, perhaps, or expectation. "This is a place of truths," she says, her fingers brushing the cup's edge. "The grove has shown you echoes, memories, pieces of others. Now it wants to hear from you." You frown, unsure what she means. "Hear from me?" you ask, your voice unsteady. Akari nods, her smile faint but warm. "The cup holds wishes," she says. "Not the kind you speak aloud, but the ones you carry deep, the ones you're afraid to name. Pick it up and let it see you." Her words feel like a challenge, and you glance at the cup, its cracks seeming to pulse with a life of their own. You're not sure you're ready to face whatever truths it might uncover, but the grove's quiet pressure urges you forward. You reach out, your fingers trembling, and lift the cup. It's heavier than it looks, warm against your skin, and as you hold it, images flicker in your mind. Not Hana's this time, but yours. A moment you turned away from someone you loved. A dream you buried because it felt too big. A fear you've never admitted, not even to yourself. The images swirl, each one sharper than the last, and you feel exposed, as if the cup is peeling back your defenses. Your breath catches and you set the cup down, your hands shaking. Akari watches you, her expression unreadable. "What did you see?" she asks, her voice gentle but probing. You struggle to find words, the emotions raw and tangled. "Things I've tried to forget," you say finally, your voice barely above a whisper. "Things I'm not proud of." She tilts her head, her eyes softening. "No one is proud of their shadows," she says. "But they're part of you. The question is, will you carry them forever, or will you let them go?" You look at the cup, its cracks seeming to glow faintly, and think of Hana, her unsent letter, her promise that became a cage. You wonder if you're doing the same, holding on to regrets that weigh you down. How do I let go? You ask, your voice raw with vulnerability. Akari's smile is soft, almost tender. You offer it, she says. Give the cup your truth and the grove will hold it for you. You hesitate, your fingers hovering over the cup. The idea of letting go feels both freeing and terrifying, like stepping off a cliff with no promise of solid ground. You think of the moments you saw, the choices you regret, the fears you've buried. What would it mean to release them? You take a breath, steady yourself, and lift the cup again. This time you don't just see the images, you feel them, the ache of each one, the weight you've carried for so long. I'm tired, you whisper, not to Akari, but to the cup, to the grove. I don't want to carry this anymore. The cup grows warmer, and you feel a shift, like a knot loosening in your chest. The images fade, not gone, but lighter, as if the grove has taken them from you. You set the cup down, your hand steady now, and look at Akari. She's watching you, her eyes bright with something like approval. You're learning, she says, her voice a soft melody. But the grove isn't finished with you yet. She stands, gesturing to a new path that opens beyond the pavilion, lined with fireflies that pulse like tiny heartbeats. There's more to see, she says, her tone both inviting and firm. But it will ask more of you. Are you ready? You feel the weight of what you've given, the lightness it left behind, and nod, though uncertainty lingers. Akari's smile widens, and she leads you toward the path, the pavilion fading into the shadows behind you. The grove feels different now, quieter, as if it's pleased with your offering. You wonder what else it will ask, what other truths you'll have to face. Hana's story, your own reflections, and now the cup's weight all swirl in your mind. But Akari's presence keeps you grounded, her light guiding you deeper into the night. You follow Akari along the new path, the firefly's golden glow weaving through the bamboo like a delicate thread. The grove feels quieter now, as if it's settled after your offering to the clay cup. But there's a new weight in the air, a sense that something bigger lies ahead. Your chest feels lighter, the burdens you gave to the cup no longer pressing so heavily, yet you can't shake the feeling that the grove is still testing you, waiting for you to prove your promise. Akari moves ahead, her kimono shimmering faintly, her tails a soft blur in the moonlight. She hasn't spoken since the pavilion, and you wonder what she's thinking, what she sees when she looks at you. The path slopes upward, the bamboo parting to reveal a rocky outcrop, overlooking a valley. The moonlight spills across the landscape, painting the distant hills in silver and shadow. You pause, catching your breath, the beauty of the scene stealing your words. A gentle breeze carries the scent of pine, and you feel a strange peace, as if the grove is offering you a moment to rest. Akari stops beside you, her gaze fixed on the valley below. Do you feel it? She asks, her voice soft as the wind. The grove's heartbeat? You close your eyes, letting the breeze wash over you, and you do feel something, a subtle pulse, like the earth itself is breathing. It's calming, but there's an undercurrent of expectation, as if the grove is waiting for you to speak, to act. You open your eyes and look at Akari, her amber eyes catching the moonlight like twin flames. What does it want from me now? You ask, your voice steady but curious. Her smile is faint, almost wistful. It wants your courage, she says, to face what you've avoided. You frown. the memory of the cup's visions flickering in your mind. You thought you'd already faced your truths, given up your regrets. But Akari's words suggest something deeper, something you've buried even from yourself. You glance at the valley where a faint mist gathers, swirling like a living thing. "What's down there?" you ask, nodding toward the mist. Akari's expression shifts, a mix of amusement and solemnity. "A mirror," she says. "Not of your face, but of your heart. It will show you what you fear to see." Your stomach tightens, but you nod, trusting the pull that's carried you this far. Akari leads you down a narrow path that wanes into the valley, the fireflies fading as the mist thickens. The air grows cooler, damp against your skin, and the bamboo gives way to soft grass underfoot. The mist swirls around you, and you feel a prickle of unease, not fear but anticipation, like standing at the edge of a dream. Ahead, the mist parts, revealing a still, glassy lake, its surface reflecting the stars above. You stop at the lake's edge, your reflection clear in the water, but it's not just you. Another figure stands beside your reflection, hazy at first, then sharpening. It's not Akari nor Hana, but someone you know, someone you've tried to forget. A face from your past, someone you loved or hurt, or both. Your heart lurches and you step back, the grass cold against your feet. "Why is this here?" you ask, your voice trembling. Akari stands beside you, her presence steady. "The grove shows what you need," she says. "Not always what you want. This is someone you've carried, someone you haven't faced." You stare at the reflection, the familiar features stirring a flood of memories. Words you left unsaid, a goodbye you never gave, a wound you thought had healed. The figure in the water doesn't move, but their eyes seem to meet yours, and you feel a pang of guilt, of longing, of everything you've tried to bury. "I can't," you whisper, your voice breaking. "I can't face them." Akari's hand brushes your arm, light but grounding. "You can," she says. "You must. The grove doesn't show you this to hurt you, but to free you." You take a shaky breath, the mist curling around you like a gentle embrace. You think of Hana, her unsent letter, her promise that trapped her. You don't want to be like her, holding on to pain until it becomes your cage. You step closer to the lake, your reflection and the figures merging in the water. "I'm sorry," you say, the words spilling out, raw and unpolished. "I should have been better. I should have stayed." The figure's face softens, and for a moment you think they hear you, though you know it's just a reflection, just the grove's mirror. The water ripples and the figure fades, leaving only your reflection. You feel a release like a knot untying in your chest, and tears prick your eyes, not from sadness but from relief. You turn to Akari, who's watching you with a quiet intensity. "You're stronger than you know," she says, her voice warm. "The grove sees it." "Do you?" You're not sure, but the lightness in your heart feels like an answer, fragile but real. Akari gestures to a path that appears through the mist, leading back into the grove. "There's more ahead," she says, her tone gentle but firm. "The grove has one last gift for you, but it will ask one last price." You nod, the weight of the lake's reflection still lingering, but you feel ready, or at least willing, to see this through. Akari's smile is soft, and she leads you forward, the mist parting as the bamboo closes around you once more. You walk behind Akari, the bamboo grove closing in around you once more, its stalks swaying gently in the night air. The mist from the lake lingers in your mind, along with the face you saw in the water, the words you spoke, and the lightness that followed. Your heart feels raw, like a wound freshly cleaned, but there's a clarity to it, a sense that you're shedding pieces of yourself with each step. The fireflies have returned, their golden glow lighting the path, but their light feels softer now, as if guiding you towards something final. Akari moves ahead, her kimono a faint shimmer, her tails barely visible, like whispers fading into the dark. The path twists, leading you to a small hill crowned with a single ancient tree. Its branches are bare, but they seem to glow faintly, as if holding on to the memory of leaves. At the tree's base lies a stone altar, simple and unadorned, with a single white flower resting on its surface. The air here feels still, heavy with purpose, and you sense this is the heart of the grove, the place where your journey has been leading. Akari stops beside the altar, her amber eyes catching the moonlight, and you feel her gaze like a weight, gentle but unyielding. "This is the last step," she says, her voice soft as a lullaby. "The grove has shown you echoes, taken your burdens, and heard your truths. Now it asks for your promise." You frown, your hand brushing against your sleeve, the memory of your earlier promise to Akari still fresh. "I already promised to follow you," you say, your voice uncertain. She smiles, a flicker of sadness in her eyes. "That was to me," she says. "This is to the grove, to yourself." You look at the altar, the white flower glowing faintly, its petals delicate and untouched. You feel a pull toward it, like a thread tugging at your heart. But there's a heaviness too, a sense that this moment will change you. "What do I have to promise?" you ask, your voice barely above a whisper. Akari steps closer, her presence warm and steady. "To move forward," she says. "To let go of what holds you back and choose what you'll carry into the future." Her words stir something deep, and you think of everything you've seen. Hannah's unsent letter, the meadow's fleeting love, the reflections in the stream and lake, the weight you gave to the clay cup. Each step has peeled back layers of you, revealing regrets, fears, and hopes you'd buried. You wonder what it means to move forward, to make a promise not just to Akari or the grove, but to yourself. Your chest tightens, and you step toward the altar, the flower's glow drawing you in. You kneel before it, your hands resting on the cool stone. The flower smells faintly of jasmine, and you feel a rush of memories, not just yours, but Hannah's, the grove's, all the stories it holds. You see flashes of your own life, moments of joy you'd forgotten, dreams you'd let fade, promises you made to yourself long ago. "I want to be free," you whisper, the words spilling out unbidden. "I want to let go of the past and find what's next." The flower trembles, as if hearing you, and you feel a warmth spreading through you, like sunlight breaking through clouds. Akari kneels beside you, her hand resting lightly on the altar. "That's enough," she says, her voice gentle but firm. "The grove accepts your promise, but it will hold you to it." You nod, feeling the weight of your words settle over you, not heavy but grounding, like an anchor in a storm. You stand, the flower still glowing, and notice the tree above you is no longer bare. Tiny buds have appeared, delicate and green, as if your promise has sparked something new. Akari rises, her smile soft but radiant. "You've done well, wanderer," she says, "but the grove has one last gift for you." She gestures to a path that appears behind the altar, narrower than the others, lined with fireflies that pulse like stars. You feel a mix of anticipation and reluctance, knowing this is the end of your journey with her. "What's the gift?" you ask, your voice quiet. Her eyes gleam, and she tilts her head, playful but serious. "Something to carry with you," she says. "Something to remind you of who you are." You take a step toward the path, the buds on the tree glowing faintly behind you. The grove feels alive, its heartbeat stronger now, as if it's celebrating your choice. You glance at Akari, her figure almost ethereal in the moonlight, and feel a pang of gratitude mixed with a strange sorrow. You followed her this far, faced truths you didn't expect, and now you're ready for whatever comes next. She nods as if sensing your resolve and leads you down the path, the fireflies swirling around you like a gentle farewell. You walk beside Akari, the narrow path winding through the bamboo grove, the fireflies' golden light pulsing softly around you. The air feels lighter now, as if the grove has exhaled, its heartbeat steady and calm. The weight of your journey, the echoes of Hannah's story, the reflections in the stream and lake, the truth you offered to the clay cup, and the promise you made at the altar all linger in your chest, but they no longer feel heavy. They're part of you, woven into your steps, guiding you toward the grove's final gift. Akari's kimono shimmers faintly, her tail's a soft glow, and you sense she's preparing to say goodbye, though neither of you speaks it yet. The path opens into a small clearing, smaller than the others, almost intimate. At its center stands a single stone lantern, its flame burning steady and bright, casting a warm circle of light. The bamboo around you is sparse, letting the moonlight pour in, bathing the clearing in silver. You feel a pull toward the lantern, like a hand reaching out, and you stop before it, your breath catching. The grove feels alive here, its presence warm and welcoming, as if it's been waiting for you all along. Akari stands beside you, her amber eyes soft, her smile gentle but knowing. "This is the gift," she says, her voice a quiet melody. "The grove has seen you, heard you, and now it offers you something to carry forward." You look at the lantern, its flame unwavering, and feel a warmth spreading through you, not from the fire, but from something deeper, something that feels like hope. You don't understand yet, but you sense it's important, a piece of the grove you'll take with you when you leave. "What is it?" you ask, your voice soft, almost afraid to break the stillness. Akari steps closer, her hand hovering over the lantern's flame, though it doesn't flicker. "It's you," she says simply. "The you that's been here all along, beneath the regrets, the fears, the weight. The grove has helped you find it." Her words settle over you, and you feel a rush of emotion, a mix of relief and wonder. You think of everything you've seen, the moments you faced, the promise you made to move forward. The lantern's light seems to pulse in time with your heart, and you realize it's not just a gift, it's a reminder, a spark to carry into the world beyond the grove. You reach out, your fingers brushing the air near the lantern, and a memory surfaces, not of pain or regret, but of joy. A moment from your past, simple but vivid, a laugh shared with someone you love, a dream you dared to chase, a time when you felt truly alive. The memory glows like the lantern, warm and bright, and you realize this is what Akari meant. This is what the grove wants you to carry. Not the burdens you've shed, but the light you've always had. Tears prick your eyes and you smile, feeling lighter than you have in years. Akari watches you, her expression soft, almost proud. "You've kept your promise," she says. "You followed, you listened, you chose. Now you can go back." You nod, though a part of you aches at the thought of leaving. The grove has changed you, and Akari, with her sharp eyes and gentle voice, has been your guide through it all. "Will I see you again?" you ask, your voice barely above a whisper. Her smile widens, playful but tinged with sadness. "The grove is always here," she says, "and so am I for those who need me. But you, wanderer, you don't need me anymore." You want to protest, to say you're not ready, but the lantern's light steadies you, and you know she's right. You've faced your shadows, made your promise, and found something worth carrying. You take a step back, the clearing's warmth wrapping around you like a farewell. Akari gestures to the path behind you, the same one you entered so long ago, now lined with fireflies that glow brighter, as if guiding you home. "Go," she says, her voice gentle but firm. "Take the light with you." You turn, your heart full, and begin to walk. The bamboo sways around you, its whispers softer now, like a lullaby. The fireflies dance, their light merging with the moonlight, and you feel the grove's presence fading, though its gift remains. You glance back, but Akari is gone, the lantern's flame a distant glow. The path leads you out, the bamboo thinning, until you see the edge of the grove, the world beyond waiting. You step forward, carrying the light, ready to face whatever comes next. Some stories stay with us long after the words fade. Let this one rest beside you. Sleep deeply, and if it returns in your dreams, perhaps it was never truly gone.